When I think of, yeah, you know, the park is 100 years old now. They're celebrating. It's 100 years old. And we're quite ancient too, Charlie and I. We're 94 years old.
Those of you who have been here for any length of time in years, now I'm not talking about time today, we're going to start by having all the seniors that, I'm not going to ask you to stand up, it's too hot today, but if you'd like to raise your hand when I put how many years you've been in the neighborhood, you can just kind of raise your hand and we'll see who ends up as the oldest citizen here. First of all, anyone who has been here for 30 years or longer, could you raise your hand? Oh, we got a lot of people here. How about 35? Do we lose some on 35 or is there still quite a few here? How about you've been in the area for 40 years? Anybody here for 40 years? Okay, we have a lady here who's lived here for 81 years. And your name? Dorothy Larson. And my son? Okay, just like me. She's 81 years old and has lived here all her life.
Just like you.
Just like me. Right. Okay, we have another lady that has been here for 31 years, okay? And your name is Mary Gumber. And then we have...
I was right from Powderhorn Park, for 79 years.
Another lady for 79 years. Okay, and then we have one other lady here, and her name is Frances Porter. And I think, as far as we can tell, she's been coming down here for over 50 years to play cards on Thursday days. And her name, again, is Frances Porter, and she lives in the area here within a 2-block area. I'm not really going to give out addresses exactly, so, but as far as I know, you were born in 1893, which puts you at 97 and a half years old right now. And just to let you know, my mother went to school with her children. So over at Bancroft, and then to I think most of them went to Bryant and in Central. So most of the schools are gone already now, except for Bancroft. But a lot of seniors have gone that route through here and are still here. So I think it's terrific. So at this time, we're going to cut the cake. And we'll give Frances the first piece. Thank you. At this time. Oh, yeah. How about happy birthday to the party?
I like about this neighborhood is that it's very convenient. It's convenient to the park, where my children would spend a lot of time at the park. And in those days, I mean, they could go without, you know, anyone supervising them. I mean, they would walk down the park and they wouldn't, you know, and then of course, yes, and then of course we have the post office and the bank and shopping, and so I mean, you really don't even need a car around here. I mean, if you could, you know, get along very well without one, although that's our enjoyment. But it is convenient, very convenient.
Can I get a picture of Dwayne watching a country western band? He's a DJ at KMOJ. We got a sweep so we see the singers now.
I want to go back to my little shack in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I got Granny Gansons waiting there for me. She's my sweet patrouille. Chickens and tractor uncles working for her through the day. Then all arrive there shopping. I got the pocket full of cents for my sweet Granny Ganson. I'll go back to the shack that I did down by the river. Where life is simple and trees are always gay. We'll spend the time on Bessie each night of day, and we'll go fishing every day. I want to go back to my little shack in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There the mackerel and the pickerel and the lucid was really fun.
One year the Aquatennial had the water show here where they had they were from Florida and they were doing their play or their show out on the lake, and they would jump off a slide, you know, the boat would pull them and then the water skiers would jump off And they offered to give lessons, free lessons to anybody who wanted it. They didn't have any takers. Nobody would get in that lake.
Well, those were some real highlight events, those band concerts. People would come from the whole area there and sit on the side of the hill. The band concert stand, you know, is down below there. Have you seen it? Is it still there?
Yeah, I
Is
said.
it still there?
Band shell?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's-
And the natural amphitheater, the fact that
Yes.
it's a
And-
hill.
They'd have sing-alongs,
Yes.
which were just
John
great.
Brown's baby.
Well, they usually hand out programs. There was one young man that always felt that was his main job, so he would always see that those programs are handed out,
The park.
and everybody'd be singing away.
Sure had some wonderful skating here back in those days when they had the Olympic tryouts and so on.
Mhm.
What are those names again?
Sandig and
Yeah.
And
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned how to speed skate at Powderhorn. I used to skate at Bryant Square and they told us we couldn't skate down anymore, we were going too fast. So they kicked us off and they told us to go down to Powderhorn. And so we went to Powderhorn and got into silver skates and that's where...
And the rest is history.
the rest is
Yeah,
history.
it really is.
And the ice was just fabulous. Those fellows would come there on Sunday morning or Saturday morning before a meet, come early, you know, and it was just, you could see the fish down in there. It was so clear. And it was just like glass. Beautiful. Well, now they don't do anything. Jerry and Kenny are over there on Sunday morning filling in the cracks in the ice. 8 o'clock in the morning before the races.
A lot of good skaters came out of Powderhorn Park.
Oh.
Besides Kenny and
Oh,
Fitzgerald,
did they ever?
Phyllis Nelson here.
Yes, Audrey Nas. There were all kinds of, Jerry Scott, there were all kinds of national champions from Powderhorn. In fact, I have clippings in here that show how many Powderhorn Club turned out. As a matter of fact, on the 1948 Olympic team, 4 members were from the Powderhorn Club in
Is
Minneapolis.
that right?
Mm-hmm.
What year Olympic team?
48,
48.
when Kenny went. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yes.
It's most unusual, but it just proves that it was the speed skating capital of the world. And then the year in '52 when Ken won his 3rd straight national championship, we had our 3rd straight daughter that same morning. And he took me to the hospital and left me, and then he went on
To go skate.
Yeah. And so it was on John Cameron Swayze National News. Yeah, it was really kind of cool. He won 8 straight after that, but see, he won in 39, 41, 42.
38th Street?
Then they didn't, he was in the service in 43 or 44. 45, 46, then he won in 48, 49, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 60. That's what it was. I just kind of have been catching on myself going through.
Speed skating capital.
Oh, yeah, it was known as the speed skating
Minneapolis,
capital.
America's speed skating capital, sees the nation's top skaters on chill Sunday afternoons in the Powderhorn Olympic track. Olympic in quotes. Yeah.
Yes, you see, that's the year that they qualified for the Olympics. That's why they did that.
1947, February 47.
Yeah.
It's just like a sunken ship, isn't it?
Yeah, your buried treasure there.
Gold, silver, rods. Here's one of the big gold medals that I won in New York. And these came from the Great Lakes down in Milwaukee. Those are beautiful. And this winter, this kid in St. Paul asked me, Kenny, have you got any medals from the Great Lakes? I said, yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. He says, can I have a dozen of them? I said, sure, Bruce. So he took them, and you should have seen what he made out of them.
Well, I have the pictures. I think they're upstairs. You know what? I'm going to go and get them.
And he had a little plaque about this big, and he took a medal like that and put it in a box just like this here, only it's in a brass cover on it like this here, and in it was pinned that medal on it, and then on this side it had where it came from and how I won it. And on the back of the plaque, it had my picture and all the championships that I've won.
Oh my, a lot of time and effort went in.
Oh yeah, and then they gave it to the Tiny Tots in Milwaukee in the 10,000 or the Great Lakes Open, and those kids are just thrilled to get. I got 2 letters on them from different people, and those are gold, silver, and bronze. I just happened to give them the ones that I won. I just took 12 of them out and gave them to them. Here's the national medals. Somebody had this made forever.
Charm bracelet.
Yeah, North American. And the 10,000. Here's a silver skates medal from Powderhorn. These are almost all from Powderhorn. This is from Petoskey, Michigan. This is, the rest of them are all from Minneapolis here. The silver skates.
No, that was in 39.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Because you were the sweetheart of the national skating meet, don't you remember?
Oh, okay. Sweetheart.
Oh, dear. But then, you know, you can imagine covering that many years time, how many pictures and cartoons that they used to have.
Oh, look at caricatures of them.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. And this one is holding a big trophy that he had just won.
That's That's the 10,000 lakes, isn't it? Or the national?
It was in
That's a
42.
national.
National
That's a
title
national.
belongs here, so Kenny takes it. Minneapolis Ken Bartholemew won his national speed skating champion the hard way. You were disqualified for having finished second in the 3/4 mile race,
Yeah, I
but
was,
you came
I
back on
passed,
Sunday.
I passed one guy on the outside and the other guy on the inside, and one of them was right on the lane, and the other guy was way out, so I just sprinted right between them. And this guy on the inside of me, he told the judge afterwards that I startled him. So the judge says, "Oh, I have to throw you out." I startled him. I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
So they threw me out of the 3/4 mile.
Yeah, here's Chip Rowan, director of park rink.
Well, if Powderhorn itself could talk, it could tell you many tales of all kinds. Yeah. And we're really thankful that we have a place like that in South Minneapolis. Yeah. It's a blessing for people, you know, especially people living in apartments that, you know, can't get out very much. They come down here to the park and enjoy themselves. It's a blessing.